Hey, it's Rex. I'm back. I'm going to do another ranking. Again, with all the talk about Ozzy and Sabbath and their last show, I thought I'd rank the Ozzy Osbourne solo albums. Now, I mean, to be honest with you, up front here, I don't want to say I stopped listening to Ozzy, but the last Ozzy album I remember being truly excited for was Osmosis. Down to Earth was okay. I remember gets me through the but after that, I've really kind of been lukewarm on Ozzy's offerings. To me, Ozzy will always be one of those artists whom, you know, he kind of got to a point, and then I feel like his albums were more of an excuse to tour. Not that they were necessarily bad, but they certainly were not up to par with his stuff in the 80s and 90s. So why don't we get started here? Obviously, look, I'm going to cheat here. Blizzard of Ozz, it's a masterpiece. Randy Rhoads is one of my favorite, probably top 3 guitar players of all time. And I don't know. That's the song. I'm not saying I don't know. I'm talking about the song. Crazy Train. You have Revelation Mother Earth, which is one of my favorite solos he ever wrote. Of course, Mr. Crowley, the legendary guitar solo. It's just amazing. And then he followed that up the next year with another masterpiece, Diary of a Madman. Wow, Diary of a Madman. The title track, Diary of a Madman, it was one of the first songs I ever learned how to play on guitar. The intro, the doom doom near 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 doom doom near 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 near. I love that bomb bomb near near. Flying High Again, is my opinion, is one of the most beautiful solos ever written. Period. SATO, which no one, there's different stories on what it stands for. Sail Across the Ocean, I know, is one of them. It says something to do with Sharon and Ozzy. I forget, like, the initials. Either way, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. Love that song. I mean, it's just back to back to back to back. Awesome songs, Randy Rhoads. Now we're going to kind of hit something. I'm going to have to drop Bark at the Moon in D. Reason, I don't know if anything's going to necessarily cross over into F. But Bark at the... You know what? I'm going to drop Bark at the Moon to F, and here's why. The title track to Bark at the Moon is one of the best songs Ozzy ever wrote. It's that if this was the song Bark at the Moon, it would be ranked higher. I can't stand the rest of the album except for the title track, and that's why I'm bouncing back and forth between D and F. I'm going to put it up on D, and the title track is saving it. You know, the title track is awesome. Solo's awesome. Jake E. Lee joined at this point. The rest of the album, I don't like it. I can't stand it, actually. Like, I remember buying it in high school and being like, oh, Bark at the Moon, this song's awesome. And then the next song comes on, and the next song, and the next song, and the next, and I'm just like, wow, this is crap. I know somebody out there whose favorite album is Bark at the Moon is really mad at me right now, but oh well, that's an opinion. Ultimate Sin, I'm going to have to drop on A tier. The title track, Thank God for the Bomb, Killer of Giants. I mean, Jake E. Lee wrote another masterpiece here. I still don't rank them up as high as the stuff that Randy did, but at the same time, you know, Ultimate Sin is just such a good album. No Rest for the Wicked. I'm going to drop it at B tier. I love Zakk Wylde's debut. Love it. It's just when you're trying to do a ranking, sometimes it's not how you feel about the album, it's where it compares with other albums. Of course, that's what a ranking is. And I feel like No Rest for the Wicked, Tattoo Dancer, we've had on the show many discussions about Fire in the Sky and the use of burning castles as a visual, as Duff would like to say. Crazy Babies is a cool song. Bloodbath in Paradise is a great song. But at the end of the day, I don't know. It's one of those albums where when I listen to it, I enjoy it. And then when I don't listen to it for a while, I kind of just don't. It's not one of those Ozzy albums where I'm like, hey, kind of feel like listening to this. So while I love it, it's a great album. I always enjoy listening to it when I do put it on. It's not one of my go-tos. No More Tears. I got to put this in S tier. It's just back-to-back awesome. Desire, Mr. Tinker Train, Mama I'm Coming Home, Hellraiser. I mean, it's just packed. It's generally, I consider it a perfect album. Osmosis, I'm going to drop on A. Again, the title track, Perry Mason, like, this is the Ozzy I remember. Like, I remember my parents listening to all the classic albums. I specifically remember my parents driving around listening to No More Tears, because Mama, I'm Coming Home was a huge song around that time. My parents were into, like, rock and metal, like Priest and Ozzy and stuff, so it wasn't like they weren't like, ooh, I like this song, I'm gonna put this on. So I remember, like, hearing No More Tears and the when I was a kid. But Osmosis was the album where I kind of, like, felt like it was my album. I remember when it came out, I could buy it on release day, and it was just a great album. I mean, Perry Mason, Thunder Underground, I Just Want You. It's a great album. I think he did really good with it. Now we get to the yikes albums. Down to Earth, I'm going to rank that at a C. It's got a couple decent tracks on it. I feel like it's definitely not as good as his classic albums. It's not as bad as some as his other releases. But it just didn't do anything for me. Like, Gets Me Through is really the song I remember on it the most. Yeah, and you can tell me, like, well, you're not listening to him very often because you're stuck in the days like an old fogey. So what? I'm not saying it's a bad album. If you like it, that's cool, man. This is how I'm ranking them. In no way, shape, or form are these rankings meant to be definitive. They are not meant to say that if, Bark at the Moon is your favorite album of all time, that I'm taking that away from you. No, you know what? You can tell me I'm full of crap and that Ultimate Sin is the worst album you ever wrote, and that's cool, man. That's why we're all here as fans. You can have your favorite, I can have my favorite. Undercover is the next one. It's an all cover album, and Ozzy was always cool with covers. I remember him doing a cover song or for some compilation. There's like Stairway to Heaven compilation. It wasn't Led Zeppelin, but I remember that, and that was cool. But I'm gonna put it again at C. Just because it's nothing special. It's not as bad necessarily as Bark at the Moon. Honestly, the rest of these, almost all the rest of these, because I'm going to have to put, Black Rain, I'm going to put in C. I listened to it once and then I kind of forgot about it. So I don't have any strong feelings against it. I don't remember hating it, but I just don't remember liking it. Scream, same thing. Ordinary Man, and Patient Number 9. I know that everybody made such a huge deal out of that because, there's all these guest stars and everything else like that. But again, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Ozzy was one of those artists that he did so much amazing good work the guy had a 40-year. How many people can say they have a 35 or 40-year career of just invincibility? Like, yes, I know I have problems with Bark at the Moon, but at the same time, the title track alone off that album will carry that album into legendary status. Even if the rest of the album I can't stand, the title track alone carries it. So I don't necessarily feel bad about ranking all of his modern albums as kind of just middle of the road, like not quite good, not quite bad. Because like a lot of artists who get to that point, you have a 35, 40-year career, and sometimes like Metallica has never, their newer albums, if you're a younger fan and you didn't grow up listening to the Black Album or Ride the Lightning or anything else, you probably love 72. I've heard that the younger fans love Death Magnetic and 72 Seasons. Now, some older fans do too, but I'm just using that as an example. So, somebody's favorite album might be Patient Number 9 or Ordinary Man, and that's fine. Like, you may be telling me that I'm full of crap and I need to listen to them again, and maybe that's true. But as of today, whatever day I'm recording this on, this is how I feel about Ozzy's albums. So S tier, we have Blizzard of Ozz, Diary of a Madman, No More Tears. A, we have Ultimate Sin, Osmosis. B, we have No Rest for the Wicked. C, we have Down to Earth, Undercover, Black Rain, Scream, Ordinary Man, and Patient Number 9, and down on D tier, and really and truthfully, I should drop it down to F, but again, I can't, the title track saves it from being a complete fail. is Bark at the Moon. So that's my Ozzy ranking. Again, I'm sorry if it doesn't match up with your Ozzy ranking. I know Ozzy's a sensitive subject. There are some people who would say every album they ever put out is S tier. It's perfect. You're not understanding it or what. That's cool. Just my opinion. Hopefully the show will be back soon, but if not, I'm going to continue to do these videos to kind of keep the channel going. And I hope you keep watching, and I'll see you next time.